It's spinning. Okay, cold turkey, we're live. No intro this time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wave.video show. We are here in the Wave.video group on LinkedIn, on the Wave.video page on Facebook, and on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here today with Heather Nichols, one of our customers, and we're going to be featuring some of her work as part of a series to try and showcase some of the real stories, real life stories of what people do with Wave and just real life you and featuring you. So we can hopefully learn from each other. Quick note, if you are watching the replay, stick around with us. It's still great. Please do comment because even after the show, we do stick around and continue the conversation. So just use the hashtag replay if it makes sense. Do let us know that you're here. It would be awesome. I see people are already commenting. Hello from Colombia, and
awesome.
That's awesome. Unfortunately, we cannot see your name, so I don't know. I can't address you by name, but awesome. Okay, I see the viewership is growing, and usually we take a couple of minutes to just kind of go slow until we have ramped up the viewership. So if you are, Heather's using the green screen feature. If you are in the replay, you might want to skip forward a bit here. So I will tell you all. Oh, hi, Mary. Yeah, Mary's with us. Yeah. So
hey, Mary Barnett. Yay!
For those of you who are watching right now, I will let you know that we just released an update to the website. So you will notice a few cool new features in there. I showcased a bit of what's coming last week. So it's live now. We're still in the process of updating. There might be a few other updates during the day. But do watch us, and we will be showing the editor, and maybe I'll point out some new feature as Heather shows her work. So today's focus is on how to scale and how to be more efficient with your video production and video marketing. We're going to be showcasing, or Heather rather, is going to be showcasing a few of her works and her features, and what she's been doing, and some of her actual work, and some of the results that she's been receiving in return. So Heather is an agency. She has a company called The BizFizz, which is a really cool name. I love it. And I'll let you, Heather, introduce yourself and go from here. And meanwhile, I will just moderate some of these comments and show them below the screen. So yeah, go ahead, everybody, comment. I do like to show where you're at. Heather, stage is yours.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I'm honored, and I enthusiastically agreed to be here today because I do love the simplicity and ease with which I can produce and edit videos at scale. The whole reason that we're here. We want to make waves, but we want to make tidal waves, which is where things just combine for a greater effect with less of our time, too. Not that we don't enjoy it, but we need to make it count, right? So I thought I would start by showing, like Daniel was saying, some actual work, some finished, not just the finished videos, but the affects, like the benefit of the videos, what has happened here. So I want to share with that as the starting point. And then I'll go through some more of the behind the scenes. Here's how we arrived at doing that and doing a lot of that. Back to the point of being scaling. Okay, so with that in mind, then I will go ahead and hold on. I actually want to pull up one thing so that it's ready when I do flip the screen. You don't need to see all of the tabs that I have open that I forgot to close. Let's see. So yeah, I am going to now share screen.
Yep.
Share screen.
Once you have it ready, I will add it into the feed. So
okay, and I'm just going to share my whole screen. So if I have a few other things, pardon, but I'll get us there with what you want to see.
Take your time to do that. Here we go. I will say, yeah, we have a
Chili Jean in the house.
Yeah, we got a lot of people joining in. This is awesome. You're bringing in a record attendance.
Oh, I can hardly, y'all, squirrel, but these are so precious squirrels in my life. Hey, y'all. Okay, so.
Okay, Duke. There we go.
You're able to, right on. Okay, so on my website at thebizfizz.com, you can see some of this media in real time displaying right now. So you'll see here is a testimonial video that one of my own clients created for me. Or, I mean, not in video, but they just took their smartphone, and then I was able to put it into Wave and add some extra elements. And so there is Sheila Hare, owner of My Computer Guy, a local IT company, sharing some kind words of her experience. I don't have to hit the play there. You can do that on your own screen with your own volume controls. But there that is. And this, I think, should be repeatable for everyone, because who's not more convinced by somebody else's words? And then to present it in such a professional manner where, nothing wrong with just the smartphone, but looks just a little bit better. Okay, a lot better with Wave.
Why don't you show the video a bit, just a few seconds of it at least, so we can see what you did. I think that's interesting.
You bet.
Okay, so actually, the sound off is a good example here, because many people do watch with the sound off, and you've got captions, right? Or you got
that's correct.
some information there on the video. So basically, how long is that testimonial video? It's pretty short, right?
It is short, yeah. So if I move that cursor along here, 32, 33, somewhere in the 30s for seconds.
So you just recorded a customer saying something nice.
That's right.
You took the 30 seconds that made most sense, put a caption on it, and just embedded it in your website, which is
exactly
simple, right?
Yeah, and Wave provides the code, so it's really just a copy paste. Easy.
Yes, and okay, great. So testimonials are really, really great. I'm often surprised not that many people do it. In fact, we lack some video testimonials on the website, and we're in the process of making them right now. So what are some of the results? When did you actually add this to your website? Let me ask you that.
Oh, I added this. It's been a few months now, but it seems to definitely get noticed. Even though I have another video at the top, which was made with something different, it actually doesn't get the views or comments on just people wanting to say something about it. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say, hey, because of the video up there, which, pardon me, I should probably change out that video, eh? Little signal there, confession in real time. But this one, however, they will mention this. And of course, I can politely and generously offer, and I can do that for you, for your business too. Let's go get some video testimonials and put on your website. And of course, instantly agreement.
So that's great. So people are actually bringing up the topic. They're saying, I saw the testimonial on your website. So they do. They do, especially as people are becoming more aware, more quickly informed and convicted about their reputation management. Reviews are a huge part of it. And I think people immediately think Google reviews or software reviews. Certainly, that's an important ingredient in that recipe. But to actually hear and see a real person, having it in video, priceless. That's great. And so some of the work you're getting from your clients is directly related to this showcase on your website that they're saying they want it as well. Okay, so maybe can you talk a little bit about how you do that work? Because I know you've been focusing. We've talked in the past. We know each other, and you've told me that you really work on getting efficient, and you can do this work very effectively nowadays. So let's maybe dive into the editor and maybe talk a little bit about once you get a customer that tells you, I want a testimonial video. How do you go about doing it? How do you get this moving? How do you produce on scale effectively?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say it's all about preparation. I think it's an Abraham Lincoln quote of, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. That preparation helps with the efficiency. So there's some things that I don't feel like it's ready to present right in this moment, and there are things that I can show you right now. So the things that I want to build some anticipation on that I'll plan on sharing with your Wave community at the appropriate time is actually more of a checklist approach, so that we can have some things that, just help to expedite. Have your recipe ready in the kitchen before you just start bringing stuff out and put it on the cooktop. So even if you don't have that, let me get to my folders. Okay, so here's a look inside Wave. And if any of you saw the preliminary video that I created on getting your branding presets done, there's an area in here when you go to, not my videos, let me actually open one up. We'll go into one of my clients here because I was going to use them as part of the showcase anyway. So you can see I have lots of videos for them. You can see organization is a big part, and sharing with them or sharing with their audience their values is really important. So if you want to create video memes, this is so easy. I'm going to go ahead and go into the edit while I'm in here. Here we go, here we go. Making a splash with Wave. All right, and then over here on the top right is where I control the branding presets. So whether you have different projects within your own business, or if you're on the business plan with Wave and you have up to 50 brand presets you can set in here. So I have one for this brand here, and it has my fonts, the colors, so that I'm consistently, I don't have to re-pick that, re-choose that every time I want to create something for them. It's set to go. So on these short video memes, which we use quite a bit of, and we're very thoughtful at what types of quotes we share for this client. It has to be absolutely congruent with how they think, live, and believe. And I already have those pre-approved from the client before I come into creation. So that's where this quick flash of a checklist over here type of approach helps. Okay, so once we're in here, the style guide also dictates we're going to have these centered. We're not going to cover people's faces, just some rules of thumb. The music is going to match the emotion that we want to create, because all of our, whoa, hey, that's loud.
We can't hear it, by the way. So because you have
you can't? Oh, okay, fantastic. I'm so glad. Thank you for reassuring me that. I'm just, sorry. I hear it so loudly in my ear.
Okay, so we've got one scene, 3 different text boxes at different time slots in the scene.
Yeah.
And the total.
So you can't hear the music with that, Daniel, but it is paced with the music. Like, so on this, even though maybe at first glance, because you're seeing it while it's in still frame and it's not playing, so it looks like it's just all appearing at once. And even though I'm going to hear it, I know that you said that you're not going to hear it. You're going to see the timing of the words arriving at a different time on purpose. This is part of creating that emotion with the timing and the rhythm and the music. I mean, all of it comes together, all these elements. So I'll hit play so you can see that it is timed, and I'll show you where you can do that. So it pauses. And it is in rhythm with the music. So over here on the right-hand side, you can free up those blocks so that they're not all having the same behavior simultaneously. So I have it free, and you can see I have my text delay over here for 1.5 seconds. So I created a rhythm.
Rhythm. That's great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you, the creative side of this. How did you come up with this idea for each customer? And this applies whether you're an agency or not, right? I want to know, I want to make videos at scale. I want to make a lot of these videos, right? Which is what you do. So how do you come up with the idea, with the creative for it? What's the process? Do you first find a video? Do you first think of the quote? Do you talk about it?
Definitely. So back in that, tease of a flip screen over here where I keep showing you a checklist, that's content that is pre-planned. What you don't want to do, because you will just spend so much time in what you think might be thoughtful time, but because you've got these other stimuli with the sights and the sounds, it's not helping you arrive at clarity fast enough. So you want to be clear on what's the message and or emotion we want to create for that marketing piece. So being clear on your goals. Start with why, Simon Sinek, reverse engineering. That's what you want to do. So if you can be purposeful and intentional in that way, that will help you then begin to filter faster when you do finally, let's suppose that I wanted to recreate this. I already know that I have that quote, the Maya Angelou quote, and I already know that this is the type of emotion I want to create. If I want to create something similar, not exact, I'm going to go to new video. I know that it's talking about making a living and a life. So it needs to be something inspirational, something fun, something that shows that more life. Life is creating memories. So fantastic that we can start from scratch. Even if you don't have any other assets, whether from your client or for yourself. You haven't done any smartphone recordings. No problem. This library, you have an endless supply, both free and paid, but there's so much that's already included in the Wave platform, even at no additional cost. So let me put in, I'll just put in fun. You can see there's the first video that I chose there. Maybe it's something with families, creating memories with your families. Let's add that in. We can add the message. It's just a copied paste of the quote here. I don't already have that copied, but insert quote. Make it styled the way that you want. Position it where you want, drag and drop. I mean, you do not have to have any technical expertise to do this whatsoever. Suppose you need this on Instagram instead. All right, cool. We're going to resize the video in a snap. So here's the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram presets. Doesn't get any easier. There's your square. Done. Need to reposition this so that the faces are more centered. There you go. You want to add some different text at a different time. Add another text box, etc. You know, I could go on with this. So we create this rhythm for each of our clients' brands. Having those presets helps so that it's on brand for the client. Knowing what you're wanting to say, what you're wanting to create in the end makes it a lot faster because, again, if you come in here,
I love how you make it so simple.
Need to find something more on point with the emotion.
We're talking over each other here. There's a little bit of a lag. I love how you make it so simple. You really boil down the process to really something straightforward. You think of what is the message, what is the emotion? You search for that keyword in the library. Then you add a quote. Where do you get the quote from?
So this will also depend on the client. Oh, sorry, I keep doing the super inception here. For this particular client, you hear readers are leaders. They are very much into personal development. They're also into professional development. So whenever I can find in the content of the books and posts that their community is sharing, quotes that they're using, I want to sound that back out. That's obviously representative of their values, so it makes sense. I would use the content that they are already using in their conversations directly for their marketing. And or if there's something similar for the values that they represent, I may go to Google and actually search for quotes along with that. But really what's most important if you're an agency so that you are not accidentally misrepresenting their values and you want to be completely 100% on point, I love being exact. I create that list and I submit it for their approval. Which of these and which not of these would you want showcased for your brand? So now I have a very clear list that is pre-approved and they love the finished result. There is so little back and forth with the client. I mean, hardly ever, because we have these things predetermined. There's a process.
So smart. So I love the fact that you minimize the back and forth, because that is a critical issue for a lot of agencies and frankly, a lot of customers who don't want to do this back and forth. And they really, you know, they feel like, I don't want to pay money for the communication. I want to pay money for the work. Right.
Exactly.
And so this is really, I love that. And I think you can also apply that if you're not an agency, if you're just doing it for yourself, you can sit down, get a bunch of quotes that are, you know, you put them in just a Google Doc and save them for later. And then you just grab out of those Google Docs whenever you're ready. So it's great. We've got a few questions and comments as we move along.
Oh, super.
We'll quickly pause for that. Is there an option to set the exact specs as I need for a video? I wonder, Natalia, if you're asking about well, 1200 and 800. I believe that's one of the default options that we have. There are about 30 different options. The one thing you cannot do is create something highly customized, like a 30 pixels by 12,000, right? You can't do that. You have to pick from the list, but we have a bunch of lists in there. And and Heather was showing before how to get to that screen. What else were we at? Oh, did we have here? Somebody was asking, what are we using for the streaming? And we're using StreamYard here. So just FYI. Here, right, Raymond was asking. Somebody else is asking, oh, ooh, now I've got a real challenge here, okay? Because sometimes you guys, you're asking questions, you're making comments that are very long. Look what happens when somebody asks a long comment, how difficult it is to handle, okay? And I've had longer ones. Okay, so it takes time to read, it blocks the screen. Okay. Oh, somebody's giving you a lot of kudos. Yes. Sign up for Wave. Oh, nice. Very nice. Sign up for Wave.video. Okay, so that's not a question.
Thank you, Facebook user. I wish I knew who you were. High five.
Okay. Yeah, and now, okay, so another point for the homepage, there's a difference between video size or dimensions and embed size. Okay, so we'll talk about embed we'll talk about, different ways to embed video in a second here. So once you have the aspect ratio you want, Natalia, you can resize it in the browser with our embed code. So if you're embedding it on a website, all you need is the actual aspect ratio. That's what's important.
Right.
The dimensions can be changed with the embed very quickly. And in fact, we have you can have two choices to choose the actual exact size or just make it responsive so it adapts by itself. So you can choose either option.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, and that's what you used on your site. So that's great.
That's right.
So now speaking about embeds, and Wave.video now is also a hosting platform where you can actually take any video you have or create with Wave and embed it. There's another thing that you can do with videos that that's kind of emerging, which is add them to emails. Now, it's not embedding them to emails, but we think of it as an embed, right? We feel like you're embedding the email at a video in an email.
Right.
But it's not exactly. So I don't know why Eduardo is talking about dog. Which dog are you talking about?
The dog and the pig? That's a frog in the background for you.
Oh, maybe frog. That's Busy. Busy the frog. Okay, yeah. And Sally's asking, what's your website? Some people know. We'll put it in the comments.
Oh, thanks.
Great. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about video and email a bit, because I know you've been doing that. And that's something that's emerging and more people are doing. And I know you had some spectacular results through it. So is that something you can showcase? I know you didn't prepare for it, so I'm going to just drop that bomb on you and ask if you could show or talk a little bit about your
Sure, I don't mind you dropping that bomb on me because it's impactful. I think that everybody needs to know this who's wanting to create impact themselves. So yeah, happily, let me switch and share my screen, and I'll pop over to something for you in just a moment. So let's see. Yeah, I got my page up
and
there.
while Heather is finding stuff, I will mention for any of you here that has a business account, check it out. We have a bunch. We just today updated the library, so you have immensely more assets in the library. Check it out and see what you've got. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll just say that and let you discover the rest.
Okay, ready?
I am. As soon as I see your screen share, I can add it to the feed.
Okay, share screen. Oh wait, hold on, my little screen selector. Real life.
There's a whole side conversation going on in the comments that I'm not going to share.
Oh yeah.
But I love it that people are like talking to each other there about all kinds.
Okay, good.
Great. Yeah.
White screen notes. Oh, here we go. No.
Yep. Again, if you're watching the replay, you can skip forward a second or two here. It's not a problem.
I'll just do entire screen. I think that'll be easier.
Here we go, and we are ready. Okay.
Okay, my video email. Now, what you're seeing here, I don't need to hit play on any of these, but these are all very personalized emails on different topics. And what you'll notice in here, I'm just going to go ahead and point out to you that if I sent this, then you can see email opens here, email clicks. Now, I have not sent these to a list. This is like if I were addressing Daniel Glickman and I wanted to give a personalized video email to him, or Dennis Yu, who is somebody that I'm also learning more about scaling with. It's incredible. So you can actually put their name or the topic. Here's Gary. I talked with somebody named Gary recently, and that's at the top. Email opens. Now that's interesting. This tells me he looked at that video many times. Actually, it looks like this is an intro email. So you can see that it's getting opened. All of my video emails, actually that one did not send, but these, I mean, this is like it. Okay, actually, if that one did send, they're all getting opened by who I'm sending it to. Let's say it's a, 95, and I could load more. I don't think I need to. 95, somewhere between 95 and 99% open rate. These are getting viewed. And I'll tell you this too, Daniel, I'm going to stop sharing my screen if that's enough to make a point for the percentage on opens here. This is what I get the most comments about. This is what I get the highest response rate, like in conversation. Like they tell me, how did you do that? Or how do I do that? I'm opening, they get it. They get the power of video, but that also translates to whether or not we're helping them with email video marketing, because I haven't offered that to them. But the power of video, I can still take that part of the conversation and steer them back into, great, they've been anchored into the power of video. Where else can we do video? And that's where you insert everything that you could possibly do with Wave at scale. So you may not be able to help your client scale with email video marketing that way that I just showed you, because that's very specific, one-to-one. It's not en masse, but you can bring them back into, here's the scalable efforts. You don't use that word with your client. You just say.
Yeah.
And you can speak in confidence. Yes, I can help you get testimonials on your website. Yes, I can help you create better branding, more eyeballs on your content, more engagement in your social media.
Okay, so let me just show people quickly here how to get to this, how to add the video to email, right? So if we, because I know you use a whole email marketing solution there. So just to look at the more simple form here. So say I have a video that I made here. This is one I made for 2 days ago. So I can just click on the dashboard right there. So once the video is either uploaded or created with Wave, I have different options here. I can embed, right? And I can also click on email campaign right there. So this would be an embed code. So if your email provider supports embed code, video embed, or sometimes they call it video tags. I think in MailChimp it's called a video tag. You can just grab it there. If you wanted, you can add a URL or UTM campaigns, all of that kind of stuff, but you don't have to. If you have embedded the video on your website, you will want to change this link right there to your web page link, okay? Otherwise, it's already set for you. It's already created. You have a video landing page. Everything is already set there, okay? So you just copy it, paste it right into MailChimp or whatever you're using. If you want to do it manually, it's really, really easy, right? Like say you want to add it to Gmail or something like that. You just click on the download thumbnail and you'll get this exact thumbnail right there with the play button ready for you, okay? You don't want.
And these are your newest features, right?
These are pretty new. Yeah, they came out a month ago, I think, right? So we're brand new. So just download the thumbnail, copy this link, and in MailChimp or whatever you're using, Marketo, whatever it is, right? You add this, you link this thumbnail to that link. That's it. That's all you have to do. So if you're doing Gmail, take that image, the thumbnail, take the link the thumbnail to this link. That's it, right? If you're using MailChimp, you can do the same thing exactly in MailChimp. Otherwise, just copy the code and paste it. So if your email service provider supports it, you're good to go right there.
Daniel, can I ask you a question on that too?
Yeah.
Since you're talking about the thumbnail, for any of those who may not be used to doing this in their marketing, isn't the benefit of doing that so that when they're just looking at the email pre-send or the person's just opened the email, that scene that seems to get stuck in video, if you've ever had a complaint of like, and my mouth was like this or my eyes were closed, doesn't that give them control over what they're seeing first?
Oh yeah. Okay. Good point. Great point. Like here in this specific example, it doesn't matter, but let's find an example where it does matter. And that's a really great point. So if I go back to my videos here, right? And say I uploaded this video, and this is exactly what you mentioned, right? Here we go. This is me. and it's like a stupid thumbnail. It's really bad. I look really, I'm not very proud of the way I look on screen, but there we go. So what I can do is, if I have the play bar right there, I can now skim through it. I might have to hit play to do it. And I might want to find, it's skinny. I might want to find the right moment. Like, I never, when it comes to myself, I never find the right moment. Right? And I did show oh, that's funny. I had a bad day. I did show, yeah, so say like this one, I just use current frame like that. It'll take 2 seconds. And then I go back to email campaigns. Pay attention, by the way, to the save buttons. Here, I don't need a save button for the use current frame, but if I change anything there, I do want to save it.
Okay.
And then I go back to email campaign, and lo and behold, my thumbnail changed. Okay, so I can download it right there. I did have a live in the group a couple of weeks ago where I showed, say you want to create a thumbnail that it's not part of your video, right? So in here, sorry, I have to skim through and find the scene, right? But what if I want a completely custom thumbnail? What I can do is I can create a scene that is short, it's just a second or two long. I put it in the end of the video, on the beginning, then grab the thumbnail from right here. And if I don't want it in the video at all, I just delete it afterwards, right? So the thumbnail will stay, the scene can go. So that's kind of a workaround for creating completely custom thumbnails, and you can now do that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
don't worry about your eyes closed anymore.
A little advanced stuff in there. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so you were showing an examples of the emails. You're talking about how the results were like really high, open ratios, and
yes.
And you didn't talk about the mastermind group. You're showing some of the videos you made for them. I forgot to ask about the results that you saw there. Like what was the customer saying as a response from the videos you created for them?
Well, I'm going to say that because we have such a process, I don't hear a lot from them, except only the results. When I do hear from them, like, great, we've got a ton of responses to our event, for example, or as somebody candidly shared with me for a husband-wife team, if the spouse isn't saying anything, then that's definitely a good sign, because they almost always, in previous marketing experiences with other vendors, have had lots to say, had to have lots of things to change, and they've been very happy. So that quietness in this case is happiness, which is terrific. And also that it's helped in the ad campaign. So using these videos in their paid advertising efforts has made a big difference because of the professional presentation that it creates, and easy for us to do for them, of course.
That's awesome. Camille is asking, where's the user taken when they click on the thumbnail? So I'll just go back in here and show her quickly. So in your dashboard, the video dashboard, you'll see there is a tab called landing pages. That is where the user is taken. So if you don't configure it, all the user will see is the video itself, nothing else. So it'll just play on their browser like this. You can add, headlines to here and different text, right? So you could even add a call to action like that. So they will see an actual video landing page if you wanted to, and add tracking code, etc. That is the link that you will see here. It's the same link. Okay. So you can, if you really want to create a proper campaign, you will go through every one of these steps, configure them. Each one of them is like 30 seconds to do, right? And that's where you go. You could customize this link as well. So you could send them to a completely different page if you wanted to. That's fine. Okay, I hope that answered the question, Natalia. Natalia, I think it was Natalia. Okay, so thank you, Margaret. So I think, was there any other anything else you wanted to cover today, Heather? Anything else you wanted to showcase?
Yeah, there's actually, I got, because I don't think this was on your page. This was something I shared inside the Wave community group, but it already got a positive response from somebody who had seen it. So I'd like to show both the video and their response in case this resounds with some other people who may be watching this who want just the dynamic simplicity in their own marketing. So I'll do a screen share here. Sharing screen again. Total screen, everything there.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Let's see. We'll close out a few things now. Okay, so Wave branding demo. Yeah, this is one that was published, I think, late last night. And then I'll go ahead and show it to you. Hold on. Yeah, let me just click on it and play it from here. But you can't hear it, is that right?
No, we cannot hear it.
Okay. So the idea here of showing the branding presets, you get the concept of what's being seen here. And the response that I got from that, let me close it out so I can not have to hear that anymore. I'm going to bring you over to Messenger for just a moment. So this is a real message. I got permission to share this, FYI. Always extend the courtesy and professionalism there. Heather, this is from a real estate influencer up in the north in Boston. Oh, hey, Boston. I just recognized Boston. Heather, I love the video you created for the event today. Did you create that in Wave? I need to come up with new ways to market my live interviews and loved its dynamic simplicity. And of course I did. And so the dynamic simplicity she was drawn to for that in doing her lives. So even on your recordings of your lives or recordings of other videos, period, you can embed those, which is what I did in the video that I just showed you that got her attention. So yes, there's the library that Wave has, and they're very generous with this. I mean, you're not going to use the same one twice ever. But uploading your own content in there, which is really critical, obviously, for all of us to, yeah, we want to have some of the creative stuff, but we need some things that we generate ourselves, and to have the marriage of the two is what really gives that polished finish.
Beautiful, wonderful. Yes, I love the way you put it. Okay, if there are any last questions, then feel free to throw them in right now because we're about to end. I know there's a little bit of a lag time here until we see them, so I'm gonna stretch time for another minute or two. And like I said today, I did not create an intro and outro. I don't know why. I always have great intros and outros, and I completely forgot to make them. And it shows, you know. And one of the things about intro and outro is it allows for that gap time before you go live. So it really helps functionally as well as introducing. And I know that Andy in the group, Andy, he creates he has an amazing intro for his show, his live show. Check it out. It's in our group. I think he posted it a few days ago. Sean is asking, does Wave handle green screen? No, Sean, we don't handle green screen. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes people ask us. It is not something we do right now. In fact, we are probably not the only video marketing tool that you would use, right? So sometimes there are some specialty tools out there, like Adobe products that really, like was it Premiere or After Effects? It really works. I think After Effects, right? It works really well with green screen. You need a lot of processing power for that, and that's something we don't support today. Maybe in the future.
I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad that question was brought up too. Is that I use double tools all the time. Still, though, it saves. Speaking of time, saves so much still. Even if you have to go and use a separate tool for the green screen effect or benefit, to then import that into Wave, which I've done many times. Again, to give that polished finish, and it just makes for faster editing. Really, it's decreased the production time, I'd say, by 75% of even the most complicated thing I want to create, because this is a super finishing tool. Trimming, editing, adding your branding. Okay, so what if you have to use another tool for 2 or 3 minutes to go and color pick for your green screen? All right, no problem.
Yeah, that's part of what we marketers do, is that we know we use tremendous amount of tools, right? And in fact, that is one of the the pain points we continuously come across, because we like to talk to customers and interview customers all the time, and we ask, okay, what are your pain points? What is inhibiting your work right now? What is the most challenges you have? How could we potentially help you get, be more effective and achieve better results? And using too many softwares is often the answers. I believe that, at any given week, today's digital marketer is using over 100 different tools. Without really noticing it, right? We just
and how many subscriptions we could probably cut out, because once you get proficient in something like Wave, you're going to find out there's a lot of things you don't need, and you could stop and just save the money on that, save the time on that. I have had several different softwares that I've been able to cut and save some extra money, and by getting my time back, it's actually helping me make more money. Yeah. That's important.
That is important. Yes. And Camille is asking sort of a question exactly like that. Like she's talking about Create Studio, which I'm not familiar with. She's saying, what other platforms or apps do you use sort of alongside Wave.video, and which maybe have you cut out, maybe by name or not, like which have you cut out, which would you use that you find very good for you?
Well, so I'm a Mac user. I use mostly Apple products. iMovie is already built into both our iPhone and your desktop, laptop. It's in that ecosphere. So that's my quick answer for fast and free.
Mm-hmm. So basically iMovie and Wave.video. That's
pretty much,
yeah.
Yeah, and I've used others. Like I don't love it as much now. Not sorry. Filmora. Super editing product. That would be similar to like your Adobe or Final Cut Pro. It's robust and it does great things. But, when it comes to, especially as an agency myself, working for clients, the clients don't care what tools are used. They just want the finished product and they want the benefits of that finished product. They don't care the how. It's up to us to increase our profitability and get our time back. And the more time and money we're making, the more available and the stronger and more powerful we can be for our clients. And now that's a win-win for everyone.
Mm-hmm. James is saying that he can do it in 15 minutes, what it used to take him 2 to 3 hours, which is wonderful.
Totally, yes.
That's exactly our goal. So it's wonderful to hear it. We constantly try. So we try to make it more efficient, and we try to minimize the number of tools you use. So, for instance, now you don't have to. Email integration is much faster. You don't have to use another hosting platform. So downloading and then uploading to another hosting platform, so you don't have to have those 2 subscriptions and extra time and all of that.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and you do save a lot of money from video hosting when it's all built into Wave. I mean, a ton. Go out there and search your pricing for video hosting, and you'll be right back to Wave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think we offer a very compelling price point when it comes to hosting. When you think about the cost of hosting, it's very expensive.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Stuff we don't think about until we're there and we're faced with it. And like, oh, is there another way? Yes. Wave all day.
Okay, Camila's asking about recommendations for Windows. I don't know. I don't use Windows. Do you? You don't either. So
I don't, but I bet Dr. Google knows. I wish I had something better to say than that. I like to be a resource, but really I do get a lot of my answers from Google, from YouTube, the other influencers I follow, and I apologize, I don't have a direct recommendation for you.
Yeah, I've heard, I haven't spoken to many people who use PCs lately and recently.
Now, I do find the super techie people do use PCs, Windows, super tech. I would say I'm mid-tech.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation. When it comes to video card processing power, a custom PC will do much better than a off-the-shelf Mac. If you're a hardcore videographer where you're doing like multiple layers of video and you need like super
television broadcast production level.
Yeah, you need either a Mac Pro, which costs about $10,000-$20,000, and I think it goes up to $100,000 or something, or you need a custom PC, one of those two, because the Mac's video cards are just not quite there. They're good enough, right? But That's it. Yeah. Okay, I think
Sorry,
I think we're good today. It was a pleasure having you guys. If you're watching, instead of most people are still with us, which is amazing. Check out the new features. We have video splitting up on production today. That I think that is the most exciting feature we have there. More stocks for the for the business users, and a bunch of other things that we added. Some of them are not worth mentioning, but you will all of a sudden notice something small. You see, thank you, this changed my life. So little things that people have been asking for, complaining about, and we've done it. And so it's, for us, it's a big deal. For you, it's like, oh, this is so great.
Daniel,
yeah.
I want to say something real quick before you do finish. I've got to sing your praises so well deservedly for you personally, but also the company as Wave. You guys have such an incredible community because you're great listeners and you're just really taking to heart all of the feedback, and you're so open and transparent about what you're working on and asking us what we need. And because of that, as a user myself, I can see where all the time it's just getting better and better. And I'm thinking to myself, when I do talk with my talkie friends, because they seem to be pretty proud that they're so techie. I think I said talkie, I meant techie. Techie friends. I'm like, but you don't know what I know. And I'm spending like 1/10 of the time that you are. And look what I can produce. And they don't know that I didn't use all that fancy stuff. But it's so good. It's so good. So thank you for the community that you've built, and for your entire team just being so supportive, quick to respond, and bringing together a fantastic product that I love. Honored to be here.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning your team. I get oftentimes, because I just happen to be the face of the company many times, but a lot of us are real introverts. And it's like, Daniel, you go and do that stuff with people. But they're amazing people. You can find them in the community. You can look them up on LinkedIn, etc. And they're amazingly nice people. They just don't like to be, shouting off the rooftops. And they do all the hard work. And so they're really
wonderful work.
People, and wonderful work, and really kind-hearted, wonderful, and really smart people. So so kudos to the all of what you said. I redirected the team, and thank you everybody for all the hard work there. And Natalia is saying thank you. Yep. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you everybody. Check out the new features. And we've got some Kate's with us. Yay, Kate. And they just keep commenting, so I'm just going to keep showing it because it's so wonderful.
Well, join the Wave community, y'all. Any of you who's not in the community, come join. Wave has wonderful plans. You don't have to be stuck on any part of your production. Everybody is here to help you. Test it and see if I'm telling the truth, because I am.
Well, thank you. Yes, well said. Thank you, Heather. And since we mentioned stuff that are coming, free captioning, right? So captioning, that's it's a mind-blowing one, and that's it's another tool you're not going to need, and we have some really unique features there. I am super stoked about this feature. It's like I'm like, we're going to have to shout this and really make a press release about it, because it's big. It's big. Captioning is very expensive. It's very complicated. Nobody's ever happy with their captions. They're like small, etc. So our captioning is going to rock big time, and I'm really, really happy about it. But you know what? Why am I talking about the future? We have new updates today that are just amazing. And we're going to, and these updates are part of a series of updates to support long form video. So right now you can go up to 30 minutes of video, and the timeline it's not really designed. We started out with like very short clips, and people are asking for longer form video. So we're getting to that point, and the releases today are another step towards making long form video is easier and more efficient and better than anything you can do on the desktop. So we have that. So those will help you. So if you've been struggling with longer videos, check out the clipping tool. That will be a game changer for you. So anything you upload will be way easier to work with. Thanks everybody for joining in. Appreciate it. Thank you, Heather, so much for sharing. This was wonderful. If anybody watching wants to join in and share their stuff, contact us, DM me or anybody or our other community members from the team here, and send us an email, whichever you know how to find us, and tell us your story. We like to share good stories from our community. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.